Okay, so hi guys, today I'm gonna teach you file handling with the help of Python programming language. I hope you know the basics of Python programming language and how to define a function, because with the help of function I'm gonna teach you. So if you don't know how to define a function, let me give you a short explanation. So to define function, we have the syntax def and the name, and here you pass your arguments. Okay, so if I have to create a function named sum, and I'll take two arguments, which is a comma b, and inside the function I'll define y is a local variable. Okay, so a plus b, and then I'm gonna print y. Okay, and I'm gonna call this function at the end sum 10 comma 20. Okay, so let me tell you the flow of conduct. First, our interpreter would read here sum is equals to 10 comma 20. 10 is the value of a, 20 is the value of b. So in the function, it's going to go to the function where it is defined. Here it is y is equals to a plus b. That means y is equals to 30. As a is equals to 10, b is equals to 20, then it's going to print y. Okay, so if I run, it's going to print 30. All right, and with the help, or we can also do with the help of return. Okay, return y, but here you have to assign the calling, or assign a variable to the calling of the variable. What I mean is that you have to write a variable v or anything. V is equals to, then you have to call the function. Okay, so that you can get the value of y. So v would have the value of y. Here it is 30. So and have to print v. Control V. Y is not defined, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, 10 comma 20. Yep, 30. Right, so this is how you define a function. So let's get started. So first we'll define the function to write. Okay, define a function to write a file. Okay, so write and underscore file without any arguments. So inside this, there are basically two methods of opening or creating a file. First is the presentation of the object, right object at the left side. So f is equals to open, then the name dot txt, anything, name of the file, comma, here you have to write the mode, write or read or append. If you don't write anything, it's automatically in readable format. So I have to write here as I have to create a file. Okay, so this is how you open, but the problem with this is that after writing some syntax, you have to close this file to prevent the leakage of data. Okay, close this, and many of the coders, including me, forget to close the file. Okay, so instead of this, we use with open. Okay, so there is another method with open, and the name comma mode I'll take right. Okay, as f. So here the file object is at the right side. Then inside this you write the code. Inside the with open indentation, the file is open, but when you go outside, file is closed. Okay, I hope you are able to understand this. So let me write the code. So with open, the name of our file would be, let it be new. Okay, new dot txt. Okay, comma right, I have to write right as f. So f is the file object, so I have to write here. So I'm going to use while infinite loop to take multiple lines or multiple inputs. Okay, so I'm going to do while true. This is, I hope you understand that true means it's an infinite loop. So I'm going to take a variable line to input line. Okay, input and yeah, enter line. So after this, so while loop, you should know while and for loop to do this. Okay, so while true means it's gonna run infinite times until I break it or I'll do false. So I'm gonna ask for a line multiple times, right? And then I'm gonna import this line in our file new.txt. So I'm gonna do it how I'm gonna do this. There are basically two methods. Here I'm gonna use write. Okay, so f dot write and the name of the line. All right, the name of the line, or you can do write lines, write lines, and convert this into list. right? So I'm here gonna use write, and then I'm gonna ask conti a variable to ask if the user wants to continue adding lines or not. Okay, so do you want to continue y comma n? Okay, so I'm asking if the user wants to continue, and here I'm gonna write if conti in n comma n break. So this is how I break my loop. So I'm gonna ask for if the user wants to continue or not. If the user writes n or capital N, I'm gonna break it. If you're not able to understand this syntax, another syntax is with the help of lower, right? So I'm gonna do conti dot lower. I'm gonna lower the caps if the conti is in caps. That means if uh, the user accidentally wrote capital N instead of n, so I'm gonna lower it and then ask if it's already in small n, it's not gonna capitalize it. Okay, so let me write n. So this one is also perfect. All right, so I hope we are ready to run. So don't forget to call the function. Okay, I hope you understand the flow of conduct. First the interpreter would read this, then it will go inside the function. So it will read this and this simultaneously, you know. Okay, so let me run. So in Sublime Text, I am here using Sublime Text file text editor. So in Sublime Text editor, you have to go to tool, Sublime Repel, then in Python, and then run current file. Okay, so enter line. Okay, there's something problem here. Yeah, sorry. So run. So enter file. So I'm gonna randomly enter some words which makes no sense to save our time. So do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. So entering more lines, right? Okay, so do you want to continue? Yes, last line, right? So no, I don't want to continue. So yeah, when you wrote n, or if you wrote capital N, so it's gonna break it, break the loop, right? So if you want to view a text file, this, so yeah. So you see the problem here is that when we wrote line, it came in a single line. Okay, there is no break line. Line is not breaking. So to break the line, we have new line character. Okay, I hope you know the new line character. New line character is this. Sorry, this is the new line character. So where do we have to add it? We can add it here, or we can add it here. All right. So I'm gonna add it here. Write dot line. This will create the new line, and we'll get what we want. So Sublime Repel, Python, run current file. So line. Okay, I'm gonna randomly write some line to save time. Do you want to continue? Yes. Do you want to continue? I'll write here instead of small n, I'll write capital N. Okay, let's see what happens. No, sorry, right, it still closes. Okay, so now let us view it. I hope it will break lines. Yeah, now there are two lines, right? So this is how you write in a file. So you can also use write lines as I explained. You just have to create a list instead of a string. Okay, so now we'll create how to create a function which reads the file. Okay, and I'm gonna read the same file. So this is the function write file, and with open, sorry, open, I'm gonna open this only new.txt, and I don't think I have to write r. Okay, if you're not writing any mode, it automatically interprets at as r. So for simplicity or for understanding, I'm writing it at r. So rf read file. So I'm gonna do r underscore f. So I don't have to create a write object in file handling, in text file handling, and in binary file. But in CSV, I do have to create a write object. Okay, So in the read file, you have to create a write object. So r underscore f is my write object. I'm gonna do rf dot read this. You can also use read lines. I'll just tell you the difference. So I'm gonna do print r, right, and I'm gonna call the function. Let me again explain you the flow of conduct. First, it's gonna go here, read this, and then it's gonna go inside the function, and it will open file, and then this will eventually print this. Okay, so control S, control B. So yeah, this is our file. All right. So we can also use a read line. Let me show you how to use this. So you just have to type the read lines, and let's see what happens. So you see the read lines, what read lines do, it actually gives the output of the context in the file in the form of list. So you can also see that here it is a new line character. Okay, so to individually print lines, you have to create for loop. Okay, so for I in rf, so that means rf is a r underscore f, sorry. So r underscore f is a list, so I would be every element. So print I, control V. So yeah, so you see here a new line is created. Okay, so to avoid this, we are simply gonna write we're gonna simply write end is equals to this without any spaces. If you write spaces, then it's gonna create problem. Right, it's gonna create a space. Right. So this is how you read a file. Right, now we have to append it in a file. Right, append lines. Okay, so def write def append. Let me create some space for you. So do def append underscore file. Okay, without passing any argument, let's start with open new dot txt and append mode as append file. Right, so the syntax is same as the write, sorry. So we're gonna just copy paste, I think, control C. Right, so the syntax is same. I'm gonna here write af. Right, if you want to append line in a particular format, right, if you want your line to be inserted in the first line, let me explain you briefly what I mean. Okay, this is the line. So our append function will create line here, okay, at last. But if you want to append line in the first index here, or I'll say here, so what you have to do is just write seek. Okay, af dot seek 0. Okay, dot seek 0. Okay, right, so control S. So this is how you create file. Now I'm gonna call the function append file. So I'm gonna remove this or comment it out. So append underscore file. So S. Now I'm gonna run this. I've called out the function. I'm gonna run this. Run current file. Right. So write lines. I'm gonna simply write small lines and only one line. Do you want to continue? No. So yeah, let us see. I'm gonna close it down. No, cancel. Don't say. So you see there is a third line created at the last index. Okay, sorry. Right, so yeah, close this. So this is how you append. Okay, so now I'm going to combine these all so that I can create an integrated code. Okay, so wait a second, just wait a second. Right, so here I'm gonna write my code would be simple. I'll do a while loop, while uh, true, and know that I'm writing this in a global format. Okay, in the global area. I hope you understand legb. Hmm? So I'm doing this in the global area. So this would be the first code which would be executed in my flow of conduct. Okay, so while true, I'm gonna write. Let me see what I can do. What right? I'm gonna print. Okay, so I'm gonna print write a to write a to append in a file, right? And print write write p to read the file print write c to create a file. Okay, so this is the guidelines. Okay, we'll take an input and input input. Okay, so it's gonna be input enter choice. Okay, so input choice, right? So okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to give one more guideline. Write q to quit. Okay, so enter choice, enter choice, input is equal to enter choice. Let me explain this. These are the guidelines to explain the user what to do. So user can write a to append the file, b to read the file, c to create a file, q to quit. So I'm going to create code for everything, or I'll say I have already created the code for everything. So if imp dot lower, I'm going to use lower, imp dot lower is uh, equal to a. So I'm simply gonna do a is append, right? So I'm gonna simply gonna call append file, append underscore file, right? If in sorry u u dot lower is equal to b. Okay, so b is read file, so read underscore file. All right, I'm gonna call read underscore file. If in is dot lower. Okay, I'm again and again using lower to avoid confusion between capital alphabets and small alphabets. Okay, so m dot lower c is create a file. Create a file is write file, right? Write underscore file. So if m dot lower is equal to sorry q, I'm gonna write. So I'm gonna quit the program, right? To quit the program, you simply have to write break. Okay, so now the code is very simple, and I have written file loop so that I can again and again ask the user for adding the value. Okay, so let's run this. So let's run this. So tool sublime repel python and run current file. Okay, so a to append in the file, b to read the file, c to quit, and q to quit, c to write a file. Okay, so first I'll write the file C, capital C, right? So enter line. I'm gonna simply enter some random line. So do you want to continue? I'll write yes, and then I'm gonna simply write anything to save time, right? And so yeah, it says again, write A to append in the file, B to read the file. So let's read the file. So this is the file, right? This is the file which matches what we have entered recently. So now I'm gonna append into a file, right? Enter file, enter line, anything. And do you want to continue? No. So yeah, so let me read it again. B to read the file. So yeah, there is a new line created already. So let me quit Q. So thank you. I hope it's clear how to create a file or how to write or read or append in a file. Thank you.